All praises to Yahweh, Yahawashi, Bahasham Rakah. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. And this is going to be a video on how Eve is clearly being affected by all the different ways how the world now is turned against her and is starting to look at her like she's a problem in the earth and that she's a problem with how our community is falling, man. And she's desperately, just like how Esau's doing it, man. Eve and Esau are doing exactly the same thing right now towards Jake. Eve's trying to make make the focus be on Jake again, and Esau's trying to make the focus be on Jake, right? They both always do the same thing to us, man. This is what I've started to realize in my lifetime, that they are both exactly the same pretty much, except the Israelite woman is not supposed to be like that because she's not supposed to be our enemy. And yet she's not, even though she's not supposed to be our enemy, she is. And you're gonna see this video with where there's a woman named Dong Quisha. Like, what the hell kind of name is that for starters? Dong Quisha. And she's got a silver grill in her mouth and all that, right? She's got 3 different colors of hair. She's got the ultimate sour face that you ever see in your life, right? Anytime any of these men talk to answer the question of the show, either her or this next woman in the middle, right, which people know who she is, they just start running their mouth. They don't want to hear. They don't want to give the men no chance to talk, right? And then they keep saying stuff to the men like, "Oh, you need to stop talking about what the women are doing, and talking about what the men are doing." But you notice that they're not doing that. Now, granted, I didn't watch the whole show, and I just skipped to a certain random points to see what they're saying, man. But I doubt that they're gonna just exclusively, because considering they're women, only speak on what the women do wrong. I very much doubt that they're gonna do that. But they expect the men to not talk anything about what women do and only talk about what the men do. Yet they don't do that themselves. They don't take their own advice, man. And there's scriptures that speak about this. And it's my understanding that the woman in the middle, at the top, right, is supposed to believe that she's an Israelite. So when she's judging everything that she's saying, she should be really filtering it through the scriptures. And one of the things that she was saying is if a 12-year-old is wearing crop tops and short clothes, is it fair to say that she's a hoe? And I would say, in response to that question, it's not necessarily fair to say that she's dressed like that. She's is a hoe, but why is she dressing like one? Yeah, why is she dressing like one though? And then women always want to say stuff like, "Oh, you need to tell the men to not lust after a 12-year-old, a 13-year-old that dresses this way," right? But here's the thing: if you understand that there's men in the world that are like that, right, and you can't clearly point them out when you look out your window and when you walk through the street, you can't clearly point out who may and may not be wicked and be evil like that, right? Well then, don't make the women dress like that. Simple as that. Don't dress like that. And don't say nothing. Don't, just like how you women say to the men, "Oh, don't talk about what the women should be doing. Talk about what the men should be doing." Okay, for you women then, don't worry about whether a man's a predator or not. Yeah, make yourself not stand out to a predator, and don't make your daughters be dressing like harlots so that they look older. Don't be making your daughters be showing off their bodies so that they look older. Considering you should, by the time of your big up age, understand and know how men move, and make your daughter maneuver in a way to where she don't do that, because you women know when you're dressed down, you don't get as much attention from men. So surely when your daughter's outside, you should be making her dress in a way to not get as much attention from men as well, if you care about your daughter's safety like y'all claim. But they want to be able to dress however they want to dress, and nobody says nothing and nobody looks apart from the people that they want to look, and be able to gallivant through the streets and through the city, and nobody says and does anything. But that's not how the world works, though. That's not how it works, man. You don't get to choose who does and who don't give you attention. Just like how a man can't complain about being used by gold diggers when he's always just walking around showing his money off. Don't show your money off then, man. Start hiding some of that then. You don't need to wear every single chain that you own, or you don't need to wear that expensive watch. Wear a cheap one. Wear a cheap watch. The watch is to tell the time, right? So wear a cheap watch. But they do it because they're seeking attention, just like how the women do what they do because they're seeking attention, man. And I'm going to get to the scriptures. All right, so I'm back now, and I'm going to just quickly go to this scripture, man, in Revelation 2nd chapter, because this scripture is heavily on what I was just listening to there, man. Right? This is Revelation chapter 2 and verse 18. And unto the angel of the church of Thyatira write, these things saith the Son of God, who have eyes like a flame of fire, and his feet like fine brass. I know thy works, and charity, and service, and faith, and thy patience, and thy works, and the last to be more than the first. Notwithstanding, I have a few things against thee, because thou sufferest that woman Jezebel, which calleth herself a prophetess, to teach and to seduce my servants to commit fornication and to eat things sacrificed unto idols. And that's what I was hearing in that show. The way we're supposed to, because it's now the modern day, accept that women dress like hoes, accept that women are going to be showing off their midriff and all of this and all of that. And then she tried to mention the Caribbean. Oh, the women in the Caribbean be walking around. Mate, the women in the Caribbean, isn't there like a crazy paternity fraud rate in the Caribbean islands? Isn't there crazy paternity fraud over there, man? And if you're claiming that you're an Israelite, you shouldn't be worrying about what the people doing over in the islands, because all the things that we've did have led us to the situation that we're in. And then you had one next woman, she did not want to hear anything about the scriptures, man. She didn't want to hear nothing about anything to do with the Bible. She's saying, oh, all y'all keep talking about this Hebrew stuff. That's between you and the Most High. But here's the thing. When you're trying to build up a society of people, right, it's not just about what you own. Because Esau owns all the things that most of these people in this world lust after right now. But look at the people that are in charge of it, though. Look how corrupt and wicked they are. They own all these kind of stuff right now, and that's what like the Israelite woman's funny, you know, because in fact, let me carry on reading this verse 21. And I gave her space to repent of her fornication, and she repented not. Behold, I will cast her out into a bed, and them that commit adultery with her into great tribulation, except they repent of their deeds. And I will kill her children with death, and all the churches shall know that I am he which searcheth the reins and the hearts, and I will give unto every one of you according to your works. And places that are allowing women to just run their mouth and talk up like they know what they're talking about, and try and have usurp authority over men, try and cut them off in their speech and all that, right? Are going to be exposed that there's a lot of wickedness going on in them places, man. Yahweh's going to expose those kind of places where these women are just going around running their mouth. Hearing women say absolute madness, but then you're pressing buttons like there's a mic drop moment. But you're also claiming you're an Israelite, though. Which should mean that you're using the Bible to decide whether you're a good woman or not. In the Proverbs 31 woman, does it mention anywhere about her walking around with her chest hanging out? Like, why are you so desperate to have your tits hanging out, man? Don't you think you can be beautiful without your tits hanging out? Don't you think you can? Because the way I see it is a lot, like, the more you see a woman exposing and showing off her body, the uglier she thinks she is. A woman that's truly attractive don't need to do all of that, man. The only one that's supposed to really be knowing what your body looks like, certain parts of your body looks like, is your man. But why, you've got to ask yourself, why do you want all these other men to know what it looks like? Or if you're having a competition with women, which you women do, why are you trying to make other women know what it looks like for? Why? Why do you want her to see what your body looks like for? Why do you care? Why are you trying to be in a competition with her for? I'm going to go and let the rest of play some more of this stuff as well. But like, Eve truly is like, man, she don't give a damn about Yahweh. They don't really give a damn about Yahweh, man. They really are, like, truly, they are our enemy, right? And you can say, oh, it's not their fault and all that, or Yahweh's blinded them right now. Okay, it's not Esau's fault that he's our enemy neither, but that don't mean we're gonna have mercy on Esau. These women that think this way, which is not all of them, but the women that think this way, you cannot build a kingdom with these people. A kingdom cannot be built with women like that. And they think in their mind that they can say, okay, build up the kingdom, then I'll listen to you. No, that's not how it works, man. Because even in this world, if a woman didn't believe a man's plan, he said, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to start this career, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this. And she's like, man, I don't believe that. When you do it, then come and talk to me. By the time he gets there, He ain't gonna want you no more because he's now superiorly better than you, right? He's better than you, and even if you don't believe he is, in his eyes, he thinks he's better than you now. You didn't put the time into, in his mind, be worthy of receiving it. And this is what a lot of women don't understand. And this is why they ended up with their body count ran out, man, because there's plenty of men that in their lifetime, when they see them and they're down, they don't like the man, they disrespect him, they don't this and they don't that, and they deal with the people that have it now, no matter how they get it. And then later on, when that man actually achieves it, they have the nerve to try and show up in that man's grill, show up in that man's face, and actually think that they deserve to have it now. And the man might, in some cases, still sleep with them and then throw them back to where he found them, man. Now, is that right to do? No. But do some men do it though? Yeah, they do. And that's why these women end up through down there, man. That's why so many women in this world have got their chest too high, because they think just because a man sleeps with them, that they're on his level. So if they manage to find themselves on a yacht, they might manage to find themselves around a millionaire, a billionaire, right? Around some kind of celebrity, around some kind of man that's doing something good in this world, according to what worldly standards are anyway. They think just because he slept with them, that's actually the kind of man that they can get. No, it's not, man. And you women need to really separate the kind of men that want to sleep with you and the kind of men that want to actually claim you as their wife and as their woman. Because I'm telling you right now, and this is what men, this is real talk from men that you women don't want to hear, but this is the real. Just like how some men wouldn't want to hear the real on how women actually think about men, but we know what the real is. They want men to go out, work till his back gives out, make all the money that they can, and really give him all the money, and they want to only sleep with that man whenever they want to, right? And on top of that, they really, some of these women right now in this society would want to be able to cheat on you, and you still go out and make all the money for them. That's what they think. But here's the thing: you women ain't in charge of whether that happens, because if men don't approach you and men don't give a damn about what y'all are talking about, you ain't got no men coming up to them. You can only be in control as long as men care about whatever you're talking about, because it's the men that go up to you. And women even still now are complaining about and trying to tell men how to approach them, when really that's like saying, with how these women are so demanding, it's like they're basically saying, this is how you audition to pay for all of my bills. Who the hell wants to hear that? Who the hell wants to hear that, man? Micah chapter 7 and verse 10, then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. And that's going to happen to a lot of these Israelite women. You cannot build a kingdom with women like these. Women like how the ones that you're going to see in this video, which a lot of men might get triggered by hearing this, man, because we've all came across, I'm not in America, and I've came across Eves that are exactly like that over here in the UK. There's a lot of them. And every time they get called out for their BS, they always want to try and make it something about men. But they never got a problem when they start talking about men, and then the men say, yeah, but what about what women did though? And they want to rig the game, just like Esau. They want to be able to say whatever they want to say about the men, but then the men can't say anything about them, and it's not going to work that way. It don't work that way, man. Just the same way you can say whatever you want to say about us, we can say what we want to say about you. And then it's funny because they like to say, oh, y'all ain't building nothing kind of Hebrew Israelite things. These are some of the things they were saying in this one particular woman, man. This Don Quisha, right? But what are you building? That's the thing. What are you building that's so great? What are you Israelite women doing that's so great, man? Instead of complaining that men are bunning out the women for starting at OnlyFans, how about you tell the women to stop doing the OnlyFans? How about you do that? Unless, of course, secretly you want to make one. Don't complain about the men that are paying for the OnlyFans. Then if we're gonna play that game, talk about the women that are making them so that men can pay for it. How about you talk about that? Because if the women don't start on OnlyFans, there won't be no OnlyFans to go to. Just like how if a drug dealer is stop selling drugs, there won't be no drugs to buy for the people, will they? If they stop selling them. All right. Hey, look at that sour face, man. You ever hey, it's lucky. You ever seen a sour face like this, bro? You already just know what would come out of the drivel that would come out of her mouth like this. Look at her. Imagine, man. Imagine that. Like that. That's like a lot of Jake moms out here, man. I like this, bro. Just sour face, bro. She looks like some sour face Benjamite, man. Nobody come talk to me. You can just pick mate. Nah. But anyway, it's not all about the appearance, man. Right? Because there could be a woman that looks similar to this that maybe she righteous, but the countenance, according to the scriptures, shows what a person's like, man. And that countenance is telling me steer clear. But I'm a press play, man.
I don't ask you about your mom. Don't ask me about my mom. What I will say is this. What I will say is this. What I will say is this. No, you asked me a question. What I will say is this. My mother.
You know, I'm gonna go back on that point because he asked her, would your mom have dressed like how women dress today? Right, which is a good point. And rather than just answer yes or no, she started talking about you're out of pocket, right? You're out of pocket. You shouldn't be mentioning my mama, right? You shouldn't be mentioning them. Just answer yes or no. Would your mom have dressed like that? Would she have dressed like that, man? And you know the answer. No, she wouldn't have. My nan would have not dressed like how women dress like now. And when I've looked at when I've seen old pictures of what my nan looked like, she looked like some kind of model. To be honest with you, but when I seen her in the ages that I would have seen her, right, she never looked like that. She looked like a nan. But whenever I seen any old pictures of her, right, she just looked like a pretty so-called black woman, like a pretty beautiful so-called black woman. She wasn't dressed in no, you know what I mean? She didn't have no gal them leg out, gal them chest out around here. She didn't do none of that. But she wasn't ugly. But when I seen her in the age that I would have been after time's gone by, and she's had uncle or my mom, all that uncles and aunts and all of this, right? I wouldn't have seen that to her look like that. I seen her look like a nan. Like a nan. And she wasn't dressing up like how some of these nans will be dressing like now. She was in long dresses. So why not just answer that question, man? Why not just answer it?
Yes. Sometimes you look at clothing and you know your mother didn't dress like that. You think your mother walked down the street like that? Nepal? You think your mother walked down the street like that? I know my mom didn't. So we know.
Are you talking? Did you talk to me? I heard my name. What?
I asked you a question. I say, so you go to clothing and you think your mom dressed like some of these women dress?
First off, I don't ask you about your mom. Don't ask me about my mom.
See how Eve's just so disagreeable, you know? Why not just answer that question? That's not a hard question to ask. She already knows damn well her mom wouldn't have dressed like that. She knows the answer, man. So why not just answer it? Why have to come with, oh, I don't ask you about my mom? And this goes back to the woman worship thing. Your mom ain't that great, man. None of our moms were that great, bro. Let's be real. Our moms were sinners. Yeah? Just like our dads were, man. And that's the reason why we ended up cursed. Don't gas it up and try and make out like your mom was some superstar out here, man. Let's not play games, right? Let's not pretend like our moms was any kind of overly righteous women out here, man. Let's not pretend like that's the case, man. Because if they were, they would have been believing that they're Israelites then, right? Considering that's what we are. Or are people going to say we're not now? What are you standing on, man?
What I will say is this. What I will say is this. What I will say is this. No, you asked me a question. What I will say is this. My mother and my father raised me to know that just because a person is dressed a certain way doesn't mean that I have to think of them a certain way. For instance, black men, you always want to talk about black women. You go around and people look at you, not me. The whole world looks at you and they're afraid. They cross the street.
The whole world looks at us and they're afraid. Well, to a certain degree, some of that's true. There are certain people that they look at us and they're afraid, but they don't really be going and crossing over the other side of the road like that all the time. It will be certain Jakes that this might happen to, but other certain Jakes that ain't happening to, man. Right? That's just not true. That's just not true, man. But that's what Eve wants us to believe, because she wants us to believe in her mind, right, that that she's our only option, which is not true, man. These women of these other nations, and it goes far beyond the East, beyond the Edomite woman, man. These women of these other nations like the so-called black man, which is why the so-called black man is able to become a passport bro and travel to another country and get one of these women. Is this Israelite woman doing that? The Israelite woman's got all this stuff to say about the so-called black man. Okay, are any men traveling from anywhere else in the world to come and date Eve? Are any men traveling across from anywhere else in the world and being like, you know what, I'm gonna try and get me one of these so-called black women. I don't know what these black men's problem is, but I'm gonna try and get me one of these so-called black women. These men don't know what they're missing out on. I'm gonna travel all the way. I'm from Vietnam, and I'm gonna travel all the way to get me one of these so-called black. Now that might happen in a movie, right? Coming to America, where can I go to get a wife? Queens. Okay, that's a movie, and it's a comedy too. That might happen in a movie, right? With Eddie Murphy and that. But in real life, is that happening? No. No, men ain't traveling. Men ain't even traveling from another countries to try and get the so-called white woman in this world, man. And this is her kingdom along with her man. But they're doing it and traveling to go and get these Moabite women though, and these Ammonite women. They're doing that there because those women carry themselves more feminine right now. Now in the kingdom, right? Brothers say whatever they want to say about Eve right now, but in the kingdom, right? Certain men that right now believe that they are gonna want to deal with these he women, and they might not even actually want to, because the Israelite woman is gonna be brought up to such a high level that she's gonna be the best choice at all times, man. Part of the Israelite man dealing with the heathen women that are beautiful, the beautiful ones, is gonna be as a liver shot to the heathens. Like, listen, man, we're better than y'all, and this is a judgment and punishment for all the evil things that y'all did to us. And their own women are not gonna want to deal with them when they see how great we are. Just like how right now the Israelite woman always compares us to the heathen man. She thinks that we don't deserve no respect because we ain't got this built, or we ain't got this industry and that industry and all that, right? But she don't want to look at herself and be like, you know what, maybe we don't deserve respect because we don't do all the things that these women of these other nations do. They try and equate the reason why these other women of these other nations show respect to their men is because they have all of these things. And one of the guys in here tried to point out and say, why do I have to build up all of that though for you to show some respect? And they wasn't trying to hear it. And the thing is, right, because they believe that we have to build all of this stuff up before we get this respect, that's what happens on a regular basis in the world anyway. An Israelite man don't get no respect from the Israelite woman while he's low in the game, right? He might not know about grooming himself to a certain way that women like. He might just think that women are supposed to like him for his personality, which don't really work, don't really happen, right? And then he finds out what it really is down here, and then he starts building himself up. But then while he's building himself up, some woman of another nation starts liking him, and he's like, man, I didn't know I could get treated like this by a woman. I'm not used to being treated like this. And then he likes that woman. And then now all the other women of his nation, all of a sudden now that he's built up, now all of a sudden they're ready to try and submit to him and try and be cool with him. But he's like, no, because where was you when I was building up? And women don't understand that that's how men think. That's how men think, man. Men don't like for women to try and just stare at them and use and as there's some kind of tool to pay for every single thing in their life. Men don't like being treated like that, man. Just like how you women don't like being treated like you're something that men are just supposed to sleep with. Men don't like that. And you women haven't felt like in the whole of your life that you have to actually understand what men think and what men feel about, man. You don't think you should have to care. And then this woman, you're gonna hear her start running her mouth about how I don't want to hear about all this Most High stuff, right? But Yahweh's the only one that we can really talk to about what our problems anyway, because you Eves don't care. Y'all don't care. As long as if we had right now, yeah. If the Israelite woman right now is able to live if every single Israelite woman, all of these Eves was able to live a Kardashian lifestyle, right? They'd be happy. They wouldn't care for the kingdom. If they was able to just go around, you know who my husband is? Act like a Karen, right? They wouldn't care about the kingdom. They wouldn't care. And most of these Israelite women don't care about the kingdom because for the most part, they just desire a life where they can run around buying trinkets and wearing nice clothes and just live some peaceful life. So-called peaceful life anyway, because it wouldn't be real peace. They don't really care for the. Most of these women don't actually even think and consider about what they want in the kingdom. We know what we want in the kingdom, but most of these women are more concerned about what we're feeling that we're going to get in the kingdom than actually thinking about what they're going to get in the kingdom. Isn't it fascinating? Instead of being like, you know what I want to get in the kingdom, they're steady worried about what we're going to end up getting. Oh, y'all are saying y'all going to have multiple wives and y'all going to do this and y'all going to do that. Even with Esau, he's worried about what we're saying we're going to receive in the kingdom, but you haven't said what you want to receive in the kingdom, though. Don't worry about what we're saying. You don't believe it's going to happen anyway, so worry about what you think you're going to get.
They clutch their purse. They grab their children because of you, of how you look. They say, "Oh, here comes a black man. I'm scared." So am I supposed to justify that and say, well, you are doing the crimes and you are doing the home invasions? No, I say.
Now, I'll be real. Some Jakes do committing a lot of these crimes. And certain Jakes that don't be on that same lifestyle like to dress in a similar way as the Jakes that do live that lifestyle, man. Like, for example, this Anton Daniels guy, right? This guy is supposed to be some kind of businessman and supposed to be some kind of millionaire and some Christian. But when with this whole Corey Holcomb thing that's been going on, he's trying to talk like he's some straight goon, man. Man, I had that jigger scared up in there. No, this mate, why you talking like you're bad for? Like, why are you talking like you're some brolic Jake that's just got people shook like you just Marlo Stanfield or something, man? Relax yourself, man. Calm down, right? And then he's saying, oh, there ain't no way that he would have came up and talked like that in my city. What do you mean your city? You don't own Detroit. What are you on about in your city, man? And then what should Corey Holcomb have did then? Should they have all jumped you and turfed you out, bro? Is that what you would that have been show that he's more gangster than if he wouldn't have been like, you know what? I'm not gonna harm one of my own people because there's more on the line than this. Should they have all just jumped you and the security guard, right? And just crashed out then? Is that what they should have did? All you people saying, oh, they're shook and all that, mate. What should they have did then? Isn't that what we're trying to get away from as Israelite men? Isn't that what we're trying to get away from? Oh, you're in my city. You're in my. What area are you from? What? That's what happened over here in the UK. That's been happening in the city. Was happening in the city that I'm from for decades. Or what city? What postcode are you? Does your postcode end in this number? Oh, what's the first letter of? Okay, so you're this letter, but then what's the number that comes after it? Oh, it's 7. Oh, nah, you getting robbed. Oh, it's 25. Oh, nah, you're getting. Oh, it's 63. Oh, you can't come through here. You know. Oh, you can't come through. That's what happens. That's what was happening, and that's dumb. In LA, oh, why you wearing blue or why you wearing red? That's dumb. But Anton Daniel was talking in a way like, oh, he wants to be a gangster or something like that. What are you on about? Because then if they would have all just beat him up and rushed him, he would have said that they're cowards then. But that's probably what he would have did to Corey Holcomb, and he said that. And there ain't no way he would have been able to say that in my studio. So what would you have did then? Just rushed him and beat him up. And that's what the Bible says, yeah. Be careful, roughly paraphrasing, don't let every man into thy house, for deceit for man have many trains, because he planned to do that before he even came in there. He planned he was going to try and go on like that. And he basically said it, man. But anyway, let's carry on with this, man.
That's not right. I say that's not right.
I'm married.
No, you don't like. See, Don Quisha. This is why they leave.
Hold on.
They don't like it. They don't like it. You don't like the truth. You don't like the truth. You don't like the truth. Hey, I don't care if you're married.
I got a wife.
It doesn't matter. I can, brother. You asked me a question.
You asked me a question. I shouldn't ask that, but listen.
You should have asked me because I'm running the show. And I don't give a damn what anybody says. Guess what? Let me tell you about me.
And that's part of the problem with the Israelite woman. She don't give a damn about what anybody says. Now, just imagine, like, we already know as Israelite men that this society is going downhill. So all the building up and making this and making that women be talking about, right? It's pointless right now. Now, that don't mean don't have anything, right? You're supposed to sustain yourself to the best of your ability while this society is falling. But it's going to fall, though. It's going to. And if you claim about the Bible, you know this. It has to fall for us to get our kingdom. It has to. There's no point trying to build onto this kingdom's foundations to start our kingdom, because this kingdom's falling. So this kingdom has to fall, and then the foundations of our kingdom are going to be laid out. Then we build our kingdom, right? Not we build here and then we just gradually, this society gradually crashes, but apart from the parts that we built on. No, this society's foundations are corrupt and it has to be done away with, man. And Yahweh's going to see to that. And these are all in America, right? America's Babylon the Great, and the whole place is going to be destroyed. It's going to become the lake of fire. But this woman in the top left is saying, oh, I don't care. You're going to hear her say, she's saying, I don't care about all that most high stuff, right? But you have to care, and you have to actually pay attention, because then you'll understand why there's no point in building in America, especially not in America. Now, I'm not in America. I've never been to America. And quite frankly, I don't want to. Now, in the past, when I was younger, I used to think, oh, America, yeah, I'd want to go over there on a holiday. I wouldn't want to go there now. I wouldn't want to go to America. The only thing that's good in America is the apostles, the elders, the bishops, the elect of the nation of Israel. Everything else in there is complete dirt. And Yahweh gave all those people that are of the hopeful elect in America a heavier spirit, because to handle that place, man, you gotta be somebody that's written in the scriptures, man, if you believe in the scriptures, man. Most of the people that are able to handle be living in that place, man, some of them must be written in the Bible, because that place to me seems like it's just the worst of every single group of people is there, man. The proudest Edomites are there, the proudest flipping Israelites are there, the proudest Moabites. Like, it seems like the worst of the worst is just in America, man. Which is why those are gonna be the people that face the lake of fire other than the elect. Now I'm gonna play some more of this, but I might have to skip forward because I want to find the certain point, man.
Give a damn. Because it's a smoke session. I don't care. You are going to get in here and talk about, oh, y'all really want to fight to call women whores, huh? But you're the first Negroes that are sitting up in that.
you see, now she's gonna Eve hot under the collar, man. Right? He's hot under the collar. Now, I can understand the Israelite woman's pain and stuff like that to a certain degree in this society, man, because the Israelite woman's been through a lot as well down there, man. Just like how we have as Israelite men. They've been through a lot too, man. But though, for the longest time, the Israelite woman was happy to throw us under the bus to get her thing, and was actually starting to believe, right, that because she was getting given all these opportunities, that it's not that difficult to build up then, because they would be getting offered jobs and stuff like that, and was getting given access easily to certain things, right? But that's because the Israelite woman's not really no threat to nothing, man. Women in general are not no threat to nothing, man. They ain't no threat. A million Israelite men that are all millionaires is way more threatening in all of these heathen men's eyes than a million women that are millionaires, that are Israelites. That ain't nothing. They're just gonna spend it on foolishness, man. They're gonna spend it on trying to look good, because they ain't gonna want to spend it on the men of their nation, because the women don't want to like to do that. They don't like to go in their pocket and spend their money on men. They'll try and think that the man's trying to live the soft girl era if he starts talking like that. But when we get something as men, they all expect that they're supposed to have a portion of it, don't it? And that's why these women are saying, build up first, then we'll respect you. Build up first, and then I'll show you some respect. Okay, you think that's how it's gonna work? You really think that that's how it's gonna work? While the men's been built, and it's not like while the men's been built. Like, look, imagine 1 second, man. So let me get my thoughts together, man. Imagine if Rachel and Leah would have said to Jacob, okay, build up first, and then I'm gonna be with you, right? That wouldn't have even been as bad if they would have said that. And they weren't even Israelite women. But they never said that. Their father told Jacob, okay, work first, and then I'm gonna give you my daughter. And Jacob did it because he knew, right, that while he was building up to get Rachel, she weren't out fighting. You understand? She weren't out fighting. She was under her dad's protection, not being a harlot. But while these women are telling us to build up, oh, go out and build up first. Yeah, you need to have a whole industries and have the whole world under order and be the number one nation on the top of the earth before I bow down to you, before I submit to you. While they're saying that, they'll be doing all kind of fighting around the society, around earth, around planet Earth, right? And then when the man's built up, now they expect to come over with their high body count. Nah, that is not going to be what's going to be happening around here. That's never going to happen, man. That is not the one. Just like how you got these women that talk about they want a man that makes 100,000 a year, they want a man that makes 6 figures a year, they want a man that makes this and that a year. And then if you was to ask them, okay, how many men have you met? How many men have you met that make that? Whatever the number is, at minimum, that should be their body count then at least. If they say, oh, I've only met 2 men that have done that, okay, so is your body count 2? You know it won't be. Their body count won't be 2. So that means that there's some men that don't meet that standard that they've slept with. So then the standard's not real then, is it? Because you shouldn't be giving up your body to none of these men that don't meet the standard. Just like how women that complain that men that are broke don't even want to talk to them and this and that. Why would you want men that are broke talking to you if your whole thing is that you don't want a broke man? Why have you got a problem that even ugly men, according to what you say is ugly, don't want you? And that's a thing that's not even just Israelite women doing it. All women are doing that. They're complaining about trying to think they can try and tell men how to approach them when at the end of the approaching, the man's going to have a financial burden of the woman, even though she's got her own money. Because one of the main reasons why women tried to fight to have their own money is that they could have a funky ass attitude to men, and that there wouldn't be no financial punishment for that. That's one of the main reasons why they wanted money. So they can run their mouth and say whatever they want to say towards men, and that man can't even punish them in no financial way. And even for all that money that they're talking about they're getting and all that, they're still beggy up to men's pockets, man. Use your own money if you want it to be like that. And now I play some more, man.
Strip club leaving your baby's milk money on that bitch's G-string.
That's right.
You're the
Now, how many Jakes really go to the strip club, man? How many? Because you notice when Eve's mainly complaining about Jake, she's mainly talking about the Pookie and Ray Ray ones, man. But they know that there's plenty of men that don't do none of that. But there's plenty of Israelite women. Like when it comes to the weave thing, mate, it's coming like every single Israelite woman that I see's got weave, man. And then they still don't understand why they got the weave. Isaiah 3:16, man. Because the daughter of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes. Yahweh's going to smite them with a crown, man, and he smote them on the head. But let's carry on, man.
And then you notice that he just started blaming women. The first thing came out of his mouth is he just started talking negative about women. He didn't say nothing about the brothers. He started talking about our clothes and started blaming us.
Hey,
the first thing came out of his mouth.
I didn't even get a chance to say nothing.
I know you don't. You don't get a chance to say anything. You know why? You know why you don't get a chance?
He's trying to not even give him a chance to speak, man. But here's the thing. In reality, and this is where it gets dark when you start talking like this, you know. In reality, if all of these was in the same room, right? If all of these was in the same room, if he decided that he didn't want her to talk to him like that, he could stop that instantly, right? He could stop that instantly from her talking to him like that. And this is one of the things as well that women want to try and not try and make not exist. That a man's physically stronger than a woman. They wanted that to be something, oh no, you can't use that against us. But they don't mind using all their weapons against us. They don't mind trying to use that they know that men lust after women against us. And that's one of the reasons why they want to be able to wear whatever kind of clothes they wear, because they know that by them wearing clothes where they reveal themselves, it's a thing that they can use to manipulate men. But if they're not doing that and they're covered up, a man's more easily able to deal with how he talks to a woman. They want to be able to have every weapon that they can have against men, but they don't want men to be able to have any weapon against them, man. And when Esau and all them like troops start running through these streets, man, you think a loud mouth and a snap and a twist and a waddle of your neck is going to do it, and a hand on the hip. First of all, you are not finna put me in no boot camp. I'm not finna go in no boot camp. You are not. Get your hands off me. Get your hands off me. Ah! No, you're gonna get dashed in the boot camp, man. First of all, you are not finna come upon me with that helmet and that no, you're gonna get busted in the head, thrown in the back of the van, and taken wherever they want to take you, man. A hand on the hip and first of all, you got me fucked up. I'm not finna. I'm not finna. Who you talking to? You are not finna do that. That ain't gonna work, man. You think you're gonna be able to talk to them like that? When the world gets real. Some of these Eves that talk like this, they're gonna end up in a situation where they're trying to, I can do bad by myself. I don't need no man. And they're gonna be walking around, yeah. They'll be walking around. They're gonna go to a store trying to get some provisions, right? And they might stumble upon an Elamite woman and an Elamite man. And the Elamite man might just go up beside the head, and steal whatever little thing she wanted and give it to him and his Elamite woman and children. And then the woman's gonna start realizing, oh, if it was just the Elamite woman there, I might have been able to win that one. But because the Elamite man came and he's a man and he's stronger than me, he was able to overpower me and take what I had. And they're gonna keep seeing that trend. Oh, there was a man there again and I felt scared. Oh, there was a man here again and I felt scared. I think maybe we need men. I think maybe we was wrong about this. Maybe a hand on the hip and first of all, you are not thinner ain't enough to overcome this time. And they're gonna be feeling scared, man, because all the things that make them proud to run their mouth in this world right now are not gonna be there, man. And here's the thing. We ain't gonna want these kind of women to be around us, man. We ain't gonna want them around us. Now they might see, if they was to see what I look like and all that, and maybe go on a video and try and see what they might say, man, you're ugly anyway. I don't like you anyway. You this and you that. That's fine by me. If a woman like this don't like me, that means I'm doing something right. Because I don't like for women that are like this to like me. I don't want them to like me, man. But them liking me means that I must be a demon. Because a wicked woman is given unto a portion as a wicked man. So that's fine too. But it's not really difficult to make Eve like you anyway. Dress like Pookie and Ray Ray. You know what I mean? Grow a ponytail. Yeah, grow a ponytail. And be a Pookie and Ray Ray. Look like you've got a criminal record. Eve will show up. You know what I mean? It ain't too hard. It ain't too hard, mate. But here's the thing. The Israelite man's getting tired of Eve liking him. They're starting to realize, actually, you know what? I want women of a bit of a different way than this. And the Israelite woman can't handle it, so she's trying to make it seem, trying to pull it on the black man again only. On the Israelite man, she's trying to pull it on. But it's not working because we know that she's full of shit now. And that she thinks about us exactly the same way as Esau thinks, man. Now, is it all Eve's fault? No. But has she played a part? Yes. And is she prepared to admit her part? No. She just wants to talk about what Eve did. Oh, but the reason why I ain't being like this is because you ain't built up a kingdom. But the kingdom's being built, and they can't see it, and they're talking badly about the thing that's making the kingdom be built, which is the Hebrew Israelite doctrine.
To say anything because you came in with some bullshit. Now, you asked me a question. Do I have to put you in back again? Do I have to put you in back again? I'm gonna hand the mic to you, but I want to make.
You see, now you think if the society had fallen, right? And you have to talk. I have to speak like this, man. You think if this society had fallen, and there ain't no 911 and all of this, right? That she could talk to any man like that. You think she would want to try and talk to any man like that? Now, people will say, oh, so you're saying you're going to beat a woman, and all of that. Listen, man, in this world, you got to watch how you talk to people, in general. Because if I'm in front of another man and I keep talking about him in certain kind of ways, yeah, I better either be prepared to fight or watch my mouth. That's the real of it, man. And people want to say, oh, y'all get offended by words. The Bible speaks about how words of, like, not many people have perished from the tongue. So the things that you say and the way you say it is very important, man. And the way how she's talking, like, you can just hear the attitude and the sass coming from her, man. And this is as a result of all the different kind of men that she would have dealt with, man. But these are also the kind of men that they like. Because while they're dealing with all of these men that do some of the things that they say, there's always been other men that don't do that stuff there. But they didn't want to deal with those guys. Because they didn't have a ponytail and a white vest with some light denim jeans and Timberlands on. With a what's up ma doing dips in Rocker Park. They didn't have that. You know what I mean? They didn't look like a rapper wearing a big white tee. You Eves have always, man, and all of us Jakes, we know this, you Eves have always liked the lowest common denominator because, you know what I mean, you've always liked the worst Jakes, man. Y'all pretty much always like the worst ones.
It's clear. You came in with some bullshit about, this is the problem. This is why nobody wants to follow you. You don't listen. You came in with some
See, they'll say that, this is why nobody wants to follow you. You don't listen, right? If you're following, no, this is why you can't follow because you don't listen. If you've got a leader, you're supposed to listen to them. What you on about, man? Yahawashi is our leader, and we listen to what he said. He don't have to be listening to us. We're supposed to listen to what he said, man. Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi is our leader. We're supposed to listen to what he said, what they said. But these women actually really want to be able to think that they can just be able to always put their input in, man. Rather than shutting them out sometimes. They don't think that they should have to be quiet, man. And it's going to result in, when all hell breaks loose, a lot of these Israelite women are not going to have no protection by the Israelite man. And the Israelite man is going to be able to protect himself a hell of a lot better than the Israelite woman's going to be able to, man. Because for start, like a lot of you Israelite women, you're big because you're fat and stuff like that, right? But some of y'all really think y'all got hands like that, man. Y'all ain't trained fighters. And some of you Israelite women think because men have just not wanted to go to prison and have just been like, you know what, I don't even want to have to deal with you. And every time y'all hype up and start running your mouth and they just back down, you actually think that that's because you can stand on business. And you're going to find out that, no, was never true, man. Because in this wicked society that we live in, every single time some man out there in this world in general loses the plot, right? Most of the time it results in some wicked woman being unalive, man. That's what happens most of the time. And I'm not calling for that to happen, but Yahweh's calling for it to happen in this world, and it's going to happen. There's several prophecies about how women are going to be judged in this world, man. Several. And is it not going to happen just because women have got a problem with it? Of course not. It's going to happen.
Your mama, that's your problem. Why nobody's up under you happy. I'll put money on it. Because you came in talking about my mom when you should have said, listen, I heard what you said about the 12-year-old girls. Let me get at that first. You got a good point. We do have men looking at 15-year-old girls who are wearing yoga pants and aren't.
I'll say something about the 15-year-old girls, you know. You see, if you've got some 15-year-old daughter and you're a woman out here, yeah, and you're a father, and you don't want men, adults, according to what you say, lusting after your daughter, make her dress modestly. Simple as that, right? Make her dress modestly, man. Because like a lot of these women in this world, they don't really know how to act, man. Like, for example, right? Women don't understand that when they've got a man, that every other man that approaches them, they should not be having no long-ass conversation with him, really. But they want to be able to do whatever they want to do. Not every single man that exists in this world is not supposed to be able to talk to your woman and smile up in her face and be talking with her and that the same way how you do it. But in this world, women don't think like that, though. They don't think like that. Like, if a woman's with her man, they don't think if another man shows up that they should not even be looking him in his eye. They don't think that. They think, I should be able to do what I want to do. That's what they think, man. They don't know how to actually act in a way to where they're showing that their husband is the main man in their life. They don't know how to do that.
Innocent little girls dress like that. So I can't say it's a whore outfit. I can't say that.
It's a whore outfit. Walking around with your tits hanging out, with the crop tops on, and batty crease trousers and that is a whole outfit. You shouldn't be making your young daughter dress like that. You shouldn't be making your older daughter dress like that, right? Why is a little girl, why is a so-called little girl then dressing like an adult for? Let's say that that's the way that only adults are supposed to dress. Why is a young girl dressing like it then? Don't try and just pull it all on the men. Oh, like here's the thing, man. Women expect that men are supposed to just automatically know their age, you know. A 15-year-old, right, can quite easily look like an 18-year-old and can quite easily look like a 20-year-old. They can look like they are older than they are. And one of the things that makes them look older than they are would be wearing makeup and dressing like an adult woman that's acting like a hoe. So therefore, they shouldn't be doing that. They shouldn't be doing it, man. Because some of you women out there, you don't even know the ages of every single male that you see, man. Certain 16-year-old males can look like they're in their 20s. There's certain Jakes, especially in Babylon the Great in America, that are in the NBA, that like basketball players and all that. And when they're 16 years old and all these 15 years old, they might be 6'3". And some of you women might not be able to instantly know their age. But if they start carrying themselves in more of a way that makes them seem like they're an adult man, then you might think that they're a man. And then according to the Bible, a 12-year-old that might have gone through puberty is not as young as this world tries to make out like they are. But then when you talk like that, people try and make it like you're some dodgy guy. But we're just talking the truth, though. We're talking the truth and trying to prepare our nation to understand what's really going on down here, man. Your 12-year-old daughter should not be dressed in a way that men will find attractive. She shouldn't be dressed in a way that women will dress, because then they might, if they might think that woman's way older than she is. And a 15-year-old definitely can look like they're way above age if they dress certain ways, man. That's facts. And then you women are funny, because when you start getting towards 30 and 40 years old, that's when y'all start going in hyper overload, mega drive to try and look younger. And really, most women would want to look like they're in like their, try and aim to look like they're in like their mid-20s to late 20s. They really be trying to look like they're in their 20s at least. But they're just not real, man. The women of our nation are not real, man. Your daughter shouldn't be dressing in no way like that, man. It shouldn't be.
What I'm going to do is address that. Instead, you're like, do your mama dress like that? Listen, you men have no problem going to the strip club. No problem at all objectifying these women that you're calling whores. Yeah. Don't ask me about my mama. Why don't you ask?
This is another thing that women don't understand as well, you know, about men. Right? Men will sleep with way different women than they actually will claim. And if you like, let me try and use a little basketball analogy, right? It's a lot easier to make a free throw than it is to make a 3-point shot. And it's a lot easier to do a under the basket layup than it is to make a free throw. So if you've got women out here in this world dressing like a under the basket layup, right? Guess what? The man's gonna get that basket in there, mate. To sometimes, right? And the woman that looked like they're a 3-point shot, he might not have the confidence to get that shot right now. This is just a reality of how some men think. But women don't understand it. They really think that every single man that they sleep with was an opportunity for a relationship. No, it wasn't, man. No, it was not. They don't, like our women of our nation, they don't really think, man. They want to be able to dress like whatever they want to dress like. But no one's supposed to react to how they dress. But then at the same time, while I was watching some of this, the woman was saying about the Hebrew Israelite thing, yo, when y'all are talking about all your religion thing and then we look at what y'all got, it's dusty. So, but why are you judging us for what we look like then? For what you think we look like, it's easy for you to judge us rather than the content of our character. But you want to be judged for the content within your heart when you're dressing like harlots. That's not how it works, man. You can't have it one-sided. But they want it one-sided, though. And they want a rigged game, man. And it don't work like that.
Why don't you address where I said everybody looks at you and is scared because you're a black man? Am I right, Don Quisha? Yeah. Is the world scared of black men?
Don Quisha. Yo, let's see what Don Quisha's got to say, yeah? Because I'm sure it's going to be some wisdoms of Solomon stuff right here. Don Quisha.
Yes, they.
Thank you. Should I justify? Should I justify?
I'll be real. Some people are scared of the so-called black man. Some people are. I'll keep it like, I'll say it like this. Certain Jakes, when I see them when I'm walking down the street, I cross over the other side of the road. But guess what? Certain Eves, when I see them, I cross over the other side of the road as well, because I don't want to deal with them, man. If I see certain wicked-looking Israelite women and they start, like, I can just see that they've just got demons on them. They got that stupid bonnet on their head, or that stupid yellow hairs and all that, them talon claws and that. I'll be walking on either the other side of the path extra further than I need to. If they're walking in the same line as me, I'll just move out the way. I don't want to have to deal with them accidentally banging into them. I don't want to have to deal with that. I don't want to have to deal with it, man. I find Eve to be a real annoyance in this world, man. And I'm not the only one. And women think that men are wrong when we say that the Israelite woman's like this. They think, oh, nah, but we're not the only ones saying it, though. The data's out there. When it comes to this whole date, which dating apps, whatever, but when it comes to this dating apps thing, that's the least woman that's being selected. It's the least woman being selected. I haven't seen no videos like I see where women of other nations are talking about the Israelite man. I haven't seen it the reverse. I haven't seen men of the other nations doing compilation videos, montage videos and all that, talking about how they want the so-called black woman. But I see videos of women doing that about the black man. Even if they might just be talking about a certain kind of so-called black man. That's rich and famous looking ones and all that. I don't see no videos of people saying that about the Israelite woman. Now, I'm going to keep it real, man. And this is 100, right? The best looking women that you're ever going to see on this earth are going to be the Israelite woman, right? When an Israelite woman in this world is on point and she's 100% having her looks the way how she's supposed to have them in that year, she's going to look amazingly beautiful, right? But that don't stop them from being wicked. Rihanna, she's actually got a very beautiful face, right? I'm sure a lot of men would agree. But is Rihanna actually wicked, though? If you were to see the things that she did behind the scenes to become as famous as she has, I bet you'd see that she's done a lot of wickedness. Cassie, she had a beautiful face too. But look at all the things that she was doing. Now, you can say whatever you want to say, that Diddy made her do it, and you can say it if you want to say it. She did it, man. She had the choice to not go get in a relationship with Diddy, but she was lusting after all them riches. And she looks pretty, but look at all the madness that she was doing, man. There's plenty of Israelite women that they look good. Saweetie, she looks good too. She's got a pretty face, right? But look at all the madness that she was doing. She was doing the madness as well. She's doing the madness too, man. The Israelite woman, when she's on point and she's doing a thing, looks-wise, she's going to look good. And women of the other nations will try and copy what they look like. Like the Kardashians, for example, they try and make themselves look like Israelite women. Which I personally think that they are Israelite women anyway. Just by the fact that how many women try and copy and try and be like them. Right? That's the ability that Israelites would have to influence the world. Like they're probably the most copied women on this earth. The Kardashians, man. But before that, it was really Beyonce that women was trying to copy and emulate, really. Jennifer Lopez, she's an extremely beautiful woman too. Right? But is she wicked? Yeah, I would say so. But if we're talking about when it comes to the looks of the Israelite women, they're going to be some of the best looking women in the world. When it comes to the attitude and the sass and the wickedness of women, they're going to be some of the wickedest women that you've seen on the earth as well, man. And not every single woman looks like those men that I mentioned. A lot of them are fat. Right? A lot of you Israelite women are fat, man. You don't go to the gym. You don't want to have a diet. You don't want to walk and do no exercise. You don't want to do nothing to better yourself. But you want to try and tell the Israelite man all these things that he's supposed to do to better himself. Even when it comes to the whole BBL thing, I thought Israelite women are supposed to just naturally have a back off and that. Why are the main ones that it seems like are getting all this crazy BBL stuff, man? It looks stupid, by the way. It looks like you've filled your nappy. But anyway, let's carry on, man.
By your logic, Flash, by your logic,
I want to make an apology for you taking
he left. Oh, good. He left. Okay.
See, he's literally apologizing to her, and she can't even hear it. He said, I want to apologize for you taking something the wrong way. Now, he could have said it, I'm sorry, because sometimes people be saying I apologize to avoid from saying I'm sorry, but he apologized, and she can't even understand it. She can't even hear that he's apologized, man, because she's too hype on her emotions, which is why women ain't supposed to be in charge. You think a woman like this, yeah, if we was in the kingdom, are gonna judge adultery according to how Yahweh said it's supposed to be judged? The woman slept with a man. Now the adultery and the adulteress are supposed to be both unalive. Or is she going to be trying to look for a way? Oh, but her man wasn't doing it right. He wasn't making all the bills. He wasn't doing it. So she had no choice but to. So we should only get rid of the man. She ain't going to want to do it how Yahweh says. And because Israelite women go on like this, right, it's going to make them being in our good books when it goes down be very difficult, man. We're not going to trust you. And this is one of the reasons why some of the times when an Israelite man is going to deal with an Israelite woman, he requires her to be way more attractive than he might require from a woman of another nation. Because there isn't as much of a history of the woman of another nation doing him like how Eve does, man. And then the Israelite woman will get all sour in the face when she sees the Israelite man with a woman of another nation that's actually attractive. And then one of the main things that Eve wanted to try and make out like she just had down packed was having an ass. But now other women have got ass too. So now what then? If that's all it was about. If you're having some big boobs and the ass was all it, okay, other women can get that though. And they've always been able to have that. So now what? Now what then? You got anything else to add? Or was you always just boobs and an ass and some twerking dancing?
Okay, good. I don't know. I don't see him.
For you taking this the wrong way, because
should I be scared of black men? Should I say all you black men are criminals? No, I asked you a question. Should I say all?
Now I'm gonna skip past this bit, man, because I want to go to the part where the one was talking about how she don't care about that Most High stuff. Like she loses the plot, man. Let's go to this, man. I think it was around 1 second. Like Eve don't care about the Bible, man. She don't care. She don't want to hear about Yahweh. She don't want to hear about Yahawashi. She don't business about that.
To calling me out, telling me I need to put my religion away. No, I don't. Because it doesn't affect you.
Oh, your religion has oppressed women.
Let me just skip ahead, man. Like Eve's nuts.
I was.
We're being killed in the streets.
That person you
Yeah, we're being killed in the streets. One of the things that allowed us to be unalived in the streets is the fact that we're sinning and going off. So the religion, the Bible, the scriptures, the Hebrew thing is very necessary because you need to know what you're not supposed to be doing so that you can have a spiritual protection from Yahweh to avoid ending up in these situations, man. But people think you're supposed to just build up riches and that's it. That's not how it works, man. Building up riches alone is not enough because an Esau's going to find out that the hard way. Esau's got riches and he's got weapons. And he's going to find out the hard way that even that is not enough to escape when Yahweh wants to turn the dials of judgment upon you. Which is what Yahweh is doing right now. He's turning up the dials of judgment on Esau and he's turning up judgment on him. And exposing him for who he really is, man. Which is a scumbag. And the fact that people are still trying to compare us to Esau, when it gets shown what the judgment of Esau is, everyone's going to be like, man, I don't want to live like that. I don't want to do that. You heard what happened to the last security guards. They were like, man, you want to try and rule over the children? Nah, I ain't doing that. You've seen what America looks like, right? You've seen it's a wasteland. You don't even exist no more. It's just only for crazy animals now. Yahweh fulfilled Revelation 18 and Isaiah 34 in that place. That place can't be lived in no more. Nothing don't grow there for humans to ingest. That place is done. I don't want to live like them. I don't ever want to live like them. It's going to be a continual reminder. Don't try and rock the boat, man. The Israelites are at the top and everybody else is underneath that. Don't try and change the order of things. That's what America's going to be.
Out in a nightclub, in a baby's head, about how you feel, and I love you. Gotta worry your partner. Let us speak. How you feel. Over and over, and I have said, and I
on for you to be spewing your personal religious beliefs on everybody.
I don't put it
you
on
and your
nobody.
God. Just rock with you and your God. You
I'm
not
the priest, lady. Do you know what that means?
Look at her face, man. Look at how sour her face is, man. Raw, fam. Like, nah, man. Like, that's a Eve right there, man. That's a black Hebrew Evite from the tribe of Evi. Like, nah, bro. Like, our women are not supposed to. And you know what, yeah? In the kingdom, she's going to be all right, man. But when she thinks back on how she was here, she's going to be embarrassed. We ain't going to embarrass her. She's going to be embarrassed her own self. And every single year when that celebration from when we escaped from Babylon the Great and all the rest of the places that we were scattered comes around, she's going to remember how she was, man. Just like how we all going to remember how we were. And we're going to be thankful to Yahawashi, Yahawashi, that he had mercy upon us. But right now, man, this woman's destroyed, man. Look at her face. And she's going to be running her mouth. You're going to see her running her mouth about how she don't care about that Bible stuff. But that's the only thing that we can use to escape the situation that we're in. And none of these Jakes understand that. They think that starting a business is going to do something, man. But if you had a business with a woman like this, right, she'd end up making it fall away anyway, man. If you had a business and had a woman like this at home, mate, you think she's going to... Come on, man. Let's be real in life, bro.
You dying to talk about your Hebrew.
That's right.
Nobody want to hear that shit. We are tired of
See?
you.
The Hebrew thing shit, that's what she's saying. Y'all dying to talk about that Hebrew stuff. Like, just, man. And the woman next, the other woman in this show, whatever you want to call it, this so-called smoke session, she's supposed to claim that she's an Israelite, isn't she? But then she starts doing a bomb drop. If it's her in charge of the buttons anyway, I don't know who's in charge of the buttons. You know, son, that be normally pressing easy buttons to try and make it like, oh man, you caught them there. Oh man, the toughest environment. If it's her in charge of buttons, she's actually co-signing what this woman's saying, but she shouldn't be.
You dying to talk about your Hebrew.
That's right.
Nobody want to hear that shit.
What you're seeing right there is Micah 7:10. Then she that is my enemy shall see, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? Mine eye shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the miry streets. And you know what this woman kind of looks like? The woman from that You're a Slut video, man. And she was a wicked ass Benjamite, man. Talking about judgment, rat-a-tat-a-la-sia. Mate, fuck all that. Now, the Israelite woman has got such a, and women in general, man, have got such a high level of arrogance. It's absolutely disgusting, man. And they have this high level of arrogance and actually think that they can try and tell men how to approach them so that the man can have the so-called honor of paying all of her life, which ain't no honor. Paying for all the bills of women like this in this society is not honor. That's a punishment, bro. And then they'll try and think they can try and call a man broke because he doesn't want to do it. No, he doesn't want to do it because you're a hoe. And he knows that plenty of men have access to your body that didn't have to pay none of that. And he don't want to be scammed by having to pay for something that other men got for free. Or because they got a ponytail. Or because they did arms in most of their workouts and you liked how their arms looked. Or because they did an ab routine and you liked how their abs look. Or because some other woman liked him and you was in a competition with her, to see who's prettier, and you thought that whoever's prettier was whoever got him first, but really you got him first because you was prepared to do something more freaky than the other woman was, but you didn't understand that because you don't understand men, and you don't understand men because you didn't think that you need to, because you thought that the men are supposed to be running around, do whatever you say, even though you want the man when you get him to pay for all of your life. You don't want it the other way around. And yet you had the arrogance where you think you didn't have to understand men. How dare you? But let's carry on pressing play anyway, man. The Israelite woman is done, man. And this is what a lot of them are like. Not all of them. A lot of them, though, are like this. And they're lamenting for the teats, for the present fields, for the fruit of a vine. Or when the Israelite man kissed their ass and just said that black women are gods, goddesses, queen, Mother Teresa, and all that. Mate, y'all ain't no queens, bruh. In the way that you think. You're queens with the EA. Not queens with a double E.
Of you and this Hebrew shit. Shut it down. We don't want to hear it right now.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And then you got some Jake in the back saying facts. You're a demon too. You're a demon as well, man. Oh, I don't want to hear that I'm the chosen. I'm tired of you Hebrew Israelites saying that you're the chosen and that you need to repent. We don't want to hear that stuff. I'm tired of you Hebrew Israelites saying that you're going to get a kingdom and that we're going to be immortal. I'm tired of it. I don't want to hear that. I just want you to start a business in this society so that I can go around and think I'm the shit in this society and spend money with somebody else's face on it. Is that what you want then? Is that what you want? You stupid idiots, man. You Jakes are so dumb, bro. The Israelite woman's so dumb, a lot of y'all, man. Now, not all. There's some women that actually switched on and actually know what's going on around here. But a lot of them are dumb like this, man. She's an idiot, man. This woman's stupid. She don't know what's going on. How old is this woman probably anyway, man? To be acting dumb like this, to be having this dumb-ass outfit, to be having a grill in her mouth, man. Looking like Trick Daddy up in here, man. What the fuck's going on around here, bro? She got 3 different looks. Blanca from fucking Street Fighter, a damn bandana on her head, and some next wet and wavy looking blonde and brown stuff, man. What the hell is going on, man? Pick one look, man, and stick with it, man. The hell is going on, bro? And it looks like she got 2 onk earrings as well, man. So you know she's bugged out. But if she was in front of me, you know she'd be running her mouth. You and that, and she'd be trying to get all close, trying to get close to me, to try and make things physical so that she can try and set me up to have the police called on me and just throw Easter at me, man. Mate, these women are demons, man. A lot of the women of our nation, they're wicked as hell, bro. And you could talk about that, how wicked they are all day.
You dying to know what that means? You dying to talk about your Hebrew stuff. Nobody want to hear that shit. We are tired of you and this Hebrew shit. Shut it down. We don't want to hear it right now. All you want to do is talk about your Hebrew stuff. I don't want to hear this Hebrew stuff. I want to hear a plan how we going to organize and strategize and get ourselves together.
Well, that requires the Hebrew stuff. That requires the Hebrew stuff, but she's too dumb to understand that. But she just wants to hear a plan. And you think she'd listen to the plan anyway? Let's say that you did set up a plan on how you're going to... Why ain't you got a plan? Why ain't she got a plan, man? She's trying to bun men out for believing that we're Israelites, saying, I want to hear a plan. What's her plan? Don Quisha, what's your plan? I wonder what her plan would be and how we're going to get ourselves out of the situation that we're in. Communities, some leisure centers and some community centers. People have been saying that for ages. You could have 1 million leisure centers. What's that going to do, bruv? What's being learnt in a leisure center? Are you finding out who you are in that community center? So the first thing is we black. Okay, what's that mean? Because our skin's brown? No, we black. Oh, but my skin's brown though. Nah, forget all that. We black. Okay, what does it mean to be black? And then what? You know what I mean? Then what happens, man? Look at how miserable her face is, man. Look how miserable her face is, bro. You know, imagine how many men she's ran off. Just imagine. Look at her. Look how vexed she is, bro. Just because we believe that we're Israelites. Bloody hell, bruv. Vex stuff, innit?
Don't nobody want to hear about you in the Most High. I'm tired of y'all.
Our people are some demons, you know. Hey, Jake, some wicked demons, you know. Flipping hell, man. We're so done, bruv. And this is why Jacob's trouble is going to happen, man. To get rid of our nation of wickedness like this.
All in this religious shit.
Come on.
Shut it down.
You see? He's pressing some button. Who pressed that button to make that all that go off on the screen? Because it better not have been the woman that claims she's an Israelite that did that. Because then that means that she's full of shit and she don't really believe that, which is probably the case anyway. Right?
Guys, and get ourselves together. Don't nobody want to hear about you in the Most High. I'm tired of y'all in this religious shit.
Come on.
Shut it down.
I got my MTV out.
And forget all that. Forget all that as well.
As long as I got breath.
I don't want peace. I want problems always.
And I'm still not going.
Look at her face. Oh, man. Eve's vexed, you know. This is a woman that's through, really, man. She's really hurt, man. You know what I mean? And she knows that she rejected Yahawashi a long time ago and that it's still being spoken about, man. You know she would have been, like, remember, the apostles have been teaching 40 plus years, man. So you think she ain't heard about it then? You think she ain't heard about it? And she's vexed that it's still being spoken about, because when she first would have heard it, she probably scoffed about it, right? Back when she looked younger and a lot more pretty than this. Because this ain't it right there, man. Like, that looks that she's got stupid. Why has she got two different types of hair in her head? Like, it looks dumb. Why is one of the hairs straight and the other one is curly? Like, it just looks dumb, bro. Does she think she looks good? And she's got a grilling? Like, what the hell are you doing? It looks dumb, bro. She would have been better off just having the bandana and saying, I'm covering my head. It just looks dumb. Like, this is like some Pirates of the Caribbean look, man. And it's not all about appearance. Because there's women that are going to look like this that are going to repent. But this ain't one of them, though. I don't think so. Now, could I be wrong? Maybe, but I'm pretty sure she's been hearing about the Hebrew Israelite doctrine for at least 2-3 decades. And she said at the end of it, I don't want to hear that Hebrew stuff. I'm tired of that shit. So that don't sound like repentance to me. That sounds like scoffing.
Stop preaching.
You need to.
As long as I got breath in my body, I'm going to do
between you
what I'm
and
committed
your
to do.
God. Every time you get on this
That's right.
channel,
And that's all I got to talk about.
It's not a religious
yourself.
conversation.
Simple as that.
We're talking about
Remove
solutions to
yourself.
a gender war.
Period.
We're talking about solutions to a gender war. Do you understand?
The solution to the gender war is through the Bible. That's the thing. And a lot of these women are going to find, I'm going to end the video here now anyway. A lot of these women are going to find out the extremely hard way, man. That they were scoffing the solution to their problems. Like, the Israelite woman, really, she don't care about Yahweh. She don't care, man. Don't Quisha. Now just look at this woman. She's got a grill, man. Look at that. What the hell is that, bruv? Why she got a grill in her mouth like that, bruv? What the hell is going on, man? Ain't that what Jaws had on in the old 007 movies in his mouth? Hey, listen, man. Hey, come on, man. Eve, bro.
Stand, Apostle. We don't want to hear about your religion.
You don't want to hear it.
Jumbo.
It's my
Eve does not care about Yahweh Shem Shai, man. She needs to tell you anymore. She don't care. She don't care. She don't give a bitch. She really don't care, man. She don't love Yahweh. But just by how she's talking shows that the men, we care. So Eve don't think that she has to respect what's above her, which is the Israelite man. But we clearly, based on how she's talking, we clearly care about what's above us, because we can't represent and talk about Yahweh all the time. She's tired of hearing Israelite men talking about that. But she, at the same time, expects the Israelite man to just come up with a solution so that she can be happy. She won't be happy ever. I don't think she'll ever be happy ever again until she ends up in the kingdom. In fact, the only time I seen her with a smile on her face was when the other woman in there was bunning out some Israelite men. Then she had a smile on her face. But that ain't gonna make her truly be happy. Telling the Israelite man that he ain't this and he ain't that ain't gonna make you overcome the problems that you've got going on with you, is it? But anyway, I went way longer in this video than I planned, man. But the Israelite woman, she really has become a disgusting creation on this earth, man. And I'm gonna say shalom, shalom.